Hello everyone. As you know, 3.1 has now been out in the PU for a few days. So we're going to dig into some of the main points. And also we're going to express our rage over some of the less ideal parts of this game. Enjoy.
So, first point up is the character customizer.
Yes.
What do you think so far?
That default is interesting.
Yeah.
I call him Lamar. He does look like a you know those models that you see where they're models because they're a bit odd looking.
Yeah.
Yeah. My main gripe with that at the moment is they said they were bringing out a character customizer. They haven't. They've brought out some character presets, which is very different.
Yeah, it's a character generator.
Yeah, but not even that, because it doesn't seem... It's not like Sea of Thieves where you just keep randomly generating faces till you find what you want. Is it?
No, there's like 9 or whatever it was, different options.
I thought maybe I missed something there for a minute.
12
No,
options.
you're kind of just stuck with those 9 options and then the same for hair. And so, you know, eventually everyone is going to look similar. You're going to meet a twin, is what I'm saying. So
eventually down the line they're going to have sliders and all that fancy stuff, but for now it's basic.
It's good enough, I mean, just to differentiate our characters, but yeah, it'd be nice to see it in a little bit more detail.
Yeah. It works fairly well. I didn't have any issues using it at all.
No issues with it, apart from lack of variety, really.
Yeah, I mean, it works. And, you know, there's no lag in that part, which is nice. So,
Hey! Solid 60 frames.
yes, yeah, I do love to see those spinning heads in 60 frames per second. So.
Okay, so the next one to talk about is the character manager app in Moby. I've had a little play around with it. It's definitely better than the last one.
Yeah.
Oh, totally.
It does seem a lot like smoother and better.
Yeah, I mean, the fact of the matter is, before you used to click on stuff and had no idea if it was doing anything, where at least this now, every click has a purpose and you can see what's equipped and what isn't, and yeah, much better.
Much better.
Much neater as well. It was all crammed into one place before, which made it really, really complicated, whereas this is spread out and it's much more pleasing to the eye.
I think the changing in like solidity and colours as well, in general for the Moby Glass, is better improved.
Yeah.
Because I can actually see what I'm clicking on and can actually read stuff now, whereas before it could be quite difficult.
That was going to be my main point about this Moby Glass, is the fact that because they've laid it out along the bottom now, you can actually see every icon, whereas before the light off the Moby Glass obscured about 5 icons, so you couldn't see it. It was stupid. So yeah, much better.
A lot cleaner.
Definitely.
I give it 10 out of 10 dudes.
10 out of 10 dudes for that.
Yeah, Bart will definitely do 10 out of 10 dudes. Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, I'm much happier with that. And the fact of the when you actually kind of bring the Moby Glass up now, I feel like it's a better animation as well than the last one. The last one was a little bit janky and blurry in places. This one is it's sharp. I like it.
Sometimes he would double press the Moby Glass to bring it up and it would like bug out a little bit.
Yeah.
Looks like they've fixed that issue now.
But yeah, overall, 1,000 times better than the last version. So
Very aesthetically pleasing.
Okay, so new ships in the game. The Reclaimer.
yes,
The biggest ship in game currently.
Mm-hmm.
it is big.
Fully designed for salvaging operations.
Yep.
Looks really cool. The interior is very reminiscent of like Alien film.
Fantastic.
Been said a lot. The ship itself is really cool. I love it. The gripe I've got with it is it's a salvaging ship, and you can't salvage in the game yet.
That's like introducing a mining ship. You can't mine it.
Yeah, I mean, I get that people have paid money for this and they want it in game because they want to play around with it, but I mean, COG must have dedicated a lot of resources to getting this out in
Yeah.
the game now, and it's pretty much useless.
Mm.
Surely those resources could have been better spent on other ships or something
Definitely.
else that's more important.
Making the
Yeah.
game actually work.
Well, yeah, I mean, even
Well,
the
that's the ease at
reskinning,
work.
even reskinning some of the older ships that I think they plan to do before this. I mean, because this is one of the biggest gripes on the forums at the minute, is that CIG seem to be focusing on really weird aspects of the game, which probably help them because they obviously have things that they want to test, and we are their guinea pigs, and we accept that, you know, when we buy the game. But yeah, they're kind of, it does feel a little bit like they're prioritizing really weird stuff that nobody's asked for, apart from obviously, yeah, the people who've thrown megabucks at this thing. So yeah, it's a bit of a pain. I'm actually looking at one now, which is quite fortuitous.
Again, another ship. The Terrapin has also been introduced into this game. Again, very cool ship. I love the look of it, and I want one now.
But
But there's no scanning in the game.
No.
So what the fuck is it doing in there?
Yeah, it's basically just a looker.
all we functionally need right now is combat ships and transport ships.
Yes.
And we need the transport ships to work. Like, we need to iron out the bugs that exist in things like the Constellation and stuff, whereby, you know, if you want to put something in the hangar bay, it doesn't disappear, or you don't fall into space, and all those things. Those are the game breakers that need to be fixed, not adding in ships that are useless currently.
The other new ships in the game are the Razor, which is like an F1 car in space.
Yeah.
Cyclone, is it? I think it's called the Cyclone. This is the new two-man buggy, and there's a bit in the back for someone to stand, or you can carry something,
Okay, that's cool.
which is, you know, I guess that's all right. There's the moons are pretty big, and exploring them is going to be cool and stuff. Not that
Yeah,
there's
when
actually
there's-
much on there.
I was going to say, yeah, when there's actually some stuff to look at. And
There's nothing to actually pick up and store on it.
Yeah, not really.
No. Like, they can't even pick up mission items and store them in your ship at the moment.
no,
No, we have problems with that. It's definitely in the Aurora. We have problems with that.
yeah.
Oh god, I wouldn't even want to try it in the Mustang.
Oh, the Mustang, yeah, it's
The
impossible.
door's underneath.
You'd have to punt it up into it. So,
Fucking, I had no idea how to get it in.
And the other new ship in the game, I say ship, it's not, is the racing variant of the hoverbike.
okay.
The
It's
normal
the-
version was scary enough.
I was going to say, because the original isn't fast enough. What? That thing was
think-
terrifying.
That thing bounced and went off into fucking orbit.
Yeah, I don't think any of us managed to actually keep it on the ground the entire time.
No.
Yeah, I went outside the planet with it twice.
Yeah, things are crazy.
So, overall, for new ships in the game, I mean, that gives a thumbs down for me.
Nice
Yeah.
ships, but not functional.
No, that's the thing. I mean, if you're gonna bring out some new ships, at least bring out ships that are gonna have a use. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, and I know obviously there isn't a load to do in this game at the moment, but there's enough whereby having a ship that's functional makes sense. You know, if you just want something for your showroom, that's fine, but I just don't see the point in having a ship that.
I mean, it would make sense to bring out a salvaging ship when you introduce a salvaging function.
Exactly.
And a mining ship when you bring out mining.
Exactly.
It's not rocket science, really. It's just either they pander to the megabucks, you know, the Richie Riches who've paid loads of money for these ships, or they have a plan in mind, and their plan doesn't line up with everyone else's expectations for playing the game. Do you know what I mean?
Their plan is very obtuse to everyone else.
You're just full of big words today, aren't you?
I am a little bit.
But yeah, so disappointing releases for 3.1 as far as ships are concerned.
1 out of 10 dudes.
1 out of 10 dudes, okay.
Menage a un, is that a thing?
Maybe?
I suppose it'd be a menage a Deuces? You having some deuce? I'm
Deuces.
going to take a deuce.
Not what you're trying to say.
Visor and HUD improvements.
Yes.
Yes. I think that ties in with the Moby updates. It just looks a lot cleaner and a lot more functional.
Yeah, I think what they've done as well, they've taken away a lot of the brightness. Because everything was just way too shiny. They'd gone a little too Michael Bay with their colours, and so everything shined too much. And now, if I'm sitting in the what's this ship called? My favourite ship.
Freelancer.
That's the one. I'm sitting in that, and they've redesigned the HUD of this, and so now I can actually see my ship in the left corner. It's not kind of obscured, and I can see my shields. And they've put almost like a mesh behind it, so I can see when there's damage and stuff. It's much improved.
I find the old version used to suffer from lens flare. There was so much fucking light.
Yeah, lens flare, or if you put it over something bright, like an yellow or something, you would you wouldn't be able to see it or read it. Now it's a bit easier. So
I've done a similar thing in the Aurora. The panels are a lot better now.
Same for the Mustang. I'm looking at them now and they're really crisp.
Yeah. My main gripe, I think, with the panels, if we can move on to this for a minute, the panels on these ships, for example, in the Freelancer. So if you want to pilot this on your own, you have to go through sub-menus in order to be able to communicate with people.
Yeah.
If you, for example, I've got 2 screens, and if I set one of my screens as communications, and then get up and sit back down again, it reverts back to...
that's so annoying.
It's super annoying, because basically it means that I've always got to have one extra step to either see if people are nearby or to request landing, and it's frustrating. So that's one thing that they need to look into.
The Mustang's got that as well. It's only got, I think it's 4 screens for 5 different menus, menu pages, and one of them I always change to comms because neither of them have comms on it, and I need comms to land, I need comms to get out sometimes.
Imagine only having 2 screens.
Downside of the Mustang as well is the fact that the bottom 2 screens are cut off out of view.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, that's kind of intentional because they assume that you're going to want to look around your ship, which I think is awesome. That was one of the best things when I first sat in a ship and I went, oh my god, I can like move my head around and like look around the cockpit. It's not just all in view. But yeah, sometimes you think, I just want to be able to glance at that without having to hold F.
Yeah.
But you can't, it swings and roundabouts, and it's, vicars and bishops.
Beavers and
Hookers
ducks.
and Donald Trump. Yeah. So,
they've done a few things with ships. You got 3 new ship weapons. We haven't tested them yet, but ship weapons are, cool. Okay, there's quite a few in the game already, but more choice. All good.
Yeah.
Ship weapon balance and ship damage. Need to get in a few fights to try that. Unfortunately, the only time one of us got interdicted last time we were testing, there wasn't any ships actually there. I think that was Bart.
Yeah, you had that twice or something, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit of a pain because you want to actually get shot at and test out these new features, and we may just end up having to get ourselves some criminal rating and shoot each other.
Okay, flight control. Anyone noticed any difference in their flight controls?
I have. Not necessarily. Well, actually, I haven't flown enough really to notice too much, but I have noticed that it's super responsive to the point where I now have to turn the DPI down on my mouse.
Yeah, I have to do that as well.
Yeah, and it wasn't like that before. That's a 3.1 thing. I don't know if they've actually done something, or if I don't know. I've become super sensitive, but yeah, that's pretty much the only thing I've noticed so far.
Planet tech improvements.
I've been I've been to Deakin's to pick up some useless goods I couldn't sell.
Oh yeah. Did you notice much improvement on planets or
I
moons?
Did. Very much. In fact, to the point where I was confused and asking you what the fuck's going on, because I was flying towards Yellow and I could see the landscape through the mist and stuff, which you couldn't before. It was just a big round planet which didn't really have much going on till you actually kind of got down on planet. But now it's got a lot more peaks and troughs, and like for example Deakin's research post, which I lived in for months, is inside a crater now, which is awesome. It just looks wicked. So they've done a really good job of fleshing out the planets, the moons a lot more.
And graphically, the improvements. Daymar was a bit of a bastard in 3.0 because it had this sort of haze around the whole moon.
Yeah.
Really hard to see anything.
It always looked like a sandstorm or something. It's weird.
Yeah. It looks a bit better now. You can actually see where you're going.
That was the other thing with the moons, was that you're coming in from orbit. You're going, you might be going 5, 6, even 1,000 meters per second, and you know how high you are, but you cannot tell if there's a mountain in front of you because there wasn't enough definition to the landscape to sort of see a mountain, if that made sense. But as I was flying through now, they've got a lot more. There's a lot more difference in the colours they've used and the shading, and it does look. You can actually kind of see stuff poking out now, which I had troubles with before. So yeah, much improved, but obviously will get better, I'm sure.
One of the new features added to 3.1 is the service beacons. What do you think so far?
Good.
Oh, that's great.
Seems to function.
Yeah, this is the one thing that we were griping about, was the fact that you couldn't sort of say, come to me, because you couldn't. So now at least we can set one down and warp.
Yeah. We can also use
although
it
it'd be
to,
nice.
Can also use it to, if you're doing if you're helping each other on a mission or something, you could sort of fudge it to give your wingman some credits for helping you out, type thing.
Oh yeah.
Combat assistance type thing.
Yeah.
I think what would be really good is if you're in a party, you should have a third option, which is create party beacon.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And it's free, and everyone in the party can just warp to that for free. Because like you have to, I know it sounds daft, but you have to spend 1 credit to be able to have a beacon that's valid.
Yeah.
Our 1 credit now means something because making money's shit.
Well, yeah, it'll take a week to make that credit back. So,
Yes.
yeah, no, they work though, and that's the important thing. At least they've put something in which people wanted and actually works. Hey.
We
10 out of 10 dudes.
10 out of 10 dudes. Okay. So the last thing that was added, well, the last major thing that was added was performance optimizations. Yeah. About
Hang
that.
on, sorry, let me just take 2.
Yeah.
That's my more sarcastic laugh.
What really gets on my fucking tits about this update? This was meant to be full of optimizations and improvements, and looking at the roadmap, all they've added is ships and weapons.
Yeah.
We've seen no actual visible gain in performance. Well, I haven't.
No, I mean,
Same
I
here.
was under the impression that 3.1 was kind of like okay, so we've put 3.0 out, it works, and now we're gonna make it run so that people can actually play it. But yeah, from what I can see, all they've really done is add in stuff people don't really need. I mean, I'm still getting frames drops every few seconds, and especially on a station.
Same.
I mean, we couldn't even play this the other day because it was crashing too much.
Yeah.
And they had to hot fix it, and I understand that's going to happen, but yeah, no, I disagree that they've made this any more stable so far. Anyway.
And surely most of this would have come up in the PU sessions or Evocati.
Yeah.
which also kind of bakes my noodle. Why have they got this PU and avocado?
Yeah.
If they want us to test everything in the game, why have you got PU? It's PTU, sorry.
Yeah. Why separate them?
Yeah.
They're testing it, and then you're then having other people test it. It's not like you're having them test it and then putting out something that works for other people to play. It's just everyone testing it. It's just some people get to be avocados and some don't, and I think that's a bit unfair. I want to be an avocado.
It just doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. It's I'm wondering if it is just their way of having some elitism in the game.
Maybe.
Saying, yeah, you know, well, I can't not say avocado now.
Yeah.
I'm an avocado, and you know, so I get to play this, you know, a few weeks before you, and then you know, it's just as bad when you get it, and you think, well, what's the point?
Yep. What is the point? They keep saying that they don't like releasing large fixes, well, large, whatever, due to the cost of it. Apparently it costs a lot to put a patch out.
Yeah.
But when they've got the upcoming update in the PTU, they do a patch almost every day.
Yeah.
So what's the difference?
Yeah.
If you like throwing money at it when it's in PTU stage, why not just update every day when it's live?
Yeah. And I mean, are all these people in you know in the testing phase, are they getting wiped every day?
I guess so. I don't know.
You know.
Yeah.
It's I mean, maybe that's the only reason that, you know, people who, you know, aren't avocados aren't going to want to have it wiped every day and keep having their progress gone. But I mean, we're speculating. We don't even know if that's the case.
Yeah.
It's just a daft way of doing it, to just have two sets of testers doing the same job, really. Except one set is going to be really frustrated because they're under the impression they've paid for a game that they can play.
Yeah.
Whereas the other set are being revered as avocados because they're, you know, doing some work on it, and you think, well, technically we've all got the same job, you just get a title.
Yeah.
Avocado.
Yeah, I do wonder if maybe they spread themselves a bit thin doing this sort of stuff, you know, and maybe that's why the things that people were expecting now haven't come out, because they're, I don't know, yeah, it just seems like a waste of their time and effort to have these two separate environments. I mean, maybe I'm talking at my arse and someone's going to come along and say, well, actually, in this environment, you know, there's, you know, I don't know, magic cheese graters. I don't know if that's how you shave an avocado, but yeah, it's
That's definitely a
bit
thing.
daft. Yes. That's how they could raise money. They could do like a charity thing, but obviously for RSI, shave an avocado. There you go.
We should totally do a video on that. The face reveal covered by avocados.
Yeah.
So overall opinions on 3.1 thus far.
Disappointed.
Yep. So,
3 out of 10 dudes.
I mean,
Yeah.
I've been trying to get in the game for the last half an hour and it's crashed 3 times.
Yeah. They've obviously done something to the servers, because either that or just everyone's coming online, but every server seems to be full up.
Yeah.
The one thing that I've noticed is there are a lot of, like, you know, these nice visual tweaks, and you know, they've added stuff that won't ever affect me because I didn't buy the ships. But other than that, it's the same game as last week. It's still crashing. It's still buggy. You know, the frames are still dropping. The only difference is when I get in my ship, it looks nice.
Yeah.
You hear that? You're not good enough!
So the performance and optimization update is a fail?
Pretty
I
much.
haven't seen any change.
No.
No.
If
I
anything,
mean,
it's got worse.
the one thing I will say is I've gone from 1080 to 4K. But saying that, I have absolutely no idea if this is actually running in 4K or if my computer just thinks it's running in 4K, because there's no visual difference really. And you know, the frames are bad whether it's 1080 or 4K. So I don't think there's been really any major benefits to this new patch. The only thing this patch has done is made it much more difficult for us to film our series.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah. So
Almost impossible.
When's the last time we recorded?
yeah, it's been weeks because we couldn't record because the frames were just so bad and they'd put in interdictions which ruined everything. But now we can't even. It's going to take us weeks to be able to afford our gear again because they've. That's the other thing. I know they've changed because we didn't touch on this. They've changed the mechanics for making money now because it was very easy to make money. You just had to fly around for a good couple of hours and you had enough money to buy whatever you wanted. And I know that's not the plan, but I think if you're going to be wiping the game, I think you should probably lax up on the economy until you've got the game running the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, totally.
Because we're gonna, you know, the amount of crashes we get, we keep losing money, and now it's much harder to make money. We're basically in a position where now if we lose half our money, it's like it's a massive kick in the crotch.
Yep.
So not super pleased with that at the moment.
And if they do release a hotfix, you're going to be reset back to 0 again anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the fact that they want us to do more missions, but how buggy the game is at the minute, missions aren't really super viable. Although now we've got beacons, we might all be able to actually do a mission.
Even less viable for Bart and Pell to do the missions, because if it requires you pick up a box and put it in your ship, them two are screwed.
Yeah.
I physically can't in a Mustang.
No. And I think currently this freelancer, whoever it is the only ship that we've got, barring the Constellation, where you can pick something up and walk in with it and just put it down. You know, the Aurora, the doors are complicated. Whereas with this, obviously, you've got a big open back door, which you can insert things in. Yeah. So yeah, basically, anytime anyone wants to put something in my gaping back door, just let me know.
Put down a beacon.
yeah, put down a beacon. I'll back on in.
We can only hope that 3.2 is better.
Yeah.
Although they're adding the mining, salvaging, and something else, so there's going to be a lot more broken stuff going on.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't mind broken shit if the things they've added are worthwhile in breaking the game. You know what I mean? If they add in like 3 new ships that no one cares about and it breaks the game, then I'm pissed. But if they add in features which we want and they break the game, at least we know they're in, and you know eventually they won't be broken.
Fair point.
But one thing I will say is I'm estimating 3.4 before we're able to actually just jump on this game like any other game and play it without all these problems. That's my estimation.
December.
3.4 dudes.
Indeed.
So this patch gets, what, 3.4 dudes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Room for improvement.
Definitely. Yeah. I think it gains some points for the graphical upgrades to the HUD and stuff. In fact, the Moby glass, that I think the Moby glass is what's earned those. Was it 4 dudes? Were you doing 4 dudes?
3.4.
You were doing 3.3. Is that like 3 dudes and a midget? How's that work?
Yeah.
3.5
All right,
dudes.
so basically we're gonna be having so the Moby glass is pretty much what's earned us the 3 dudes and a midget.
Moby glass and the character customizer.
Yeah. So the character customizer gets the midget, and the Moby glass gets the 3 dudes.
Yeah.
Everything
You can
else
actually see the Moby glass.
Everything else can just do one.
Yeah, do one.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't think we'll be back on this game again for a while, just because it just doesn't run. You know,
it doesn't run, and now making money to to buy anything or do anything is a hell of a grind, only to know you're going to possibly lose it on a hotfix.
Yeah. Well, the overall outcome of that is not good. 3.1, bit of a letdown, and we'll have to just see how it goes, pretty much. I doubt that we're going to be playing this game as much as we have been, because it's just too unreliable. But we'll keep you posted as the weeks go on, and keep your eye out for bug catchers, because they're hilarious and we love them. Goodbye!
Oh, why did I do that?